Thanks for stopping by, Derek. I will let the babies know. Right now they're not with me. They're getting ready to get dressed for a little commercial audition. A whole family audition actually. So you know what I'm saying. We ain't going deep enough to sell our souls. So we just maybe do a commercial once every year or so. Anyway, look at this. Isn't it beautiful? It rained last night. It's supposed to rain later on today. Sometimes them can't stop nature. You know what I'm saying? If it wants through, it's gonna bust through. Only it's not gonna have as much punch as it could have had. That's the only problem. You know what I'm saying? If they stop messing with the weather, we would probably have rain right now. I mean, it's supposed to pick up in like an hour and a half, but you know, it just let the rain do what it do. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, oh man. So last night I'm browsing YouTube. You know what I'm saying? And this chick comes up. You know, and what brought me to her attention to me, or me to her, or wait, well, yeah, what brought her attention to me was she was talking about gun control, and how she's firmly against gun control, and how she's having a conversation with some liberals about gun control. You know, they get the liberal argument against the guns, you know, or for gun control, is senseless sometimes because they don't know what the hell they're talking about. So when you have people that don't know what they're talking about, particularly about weapons or firearms, and they try to argue why we don't need them, you know, it sounds dumb. They say the dumbest things like, oh, what if one person has a gun? What if you have a gun and the other person has a bigger gun? What if you know, little silly shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just, oh, I'd rather die than kill somebody with a gun. So, in order to prove your point, you're saying that in order to stay firm on your no gun rule, you'll die if someone breaks in your house. You're willing to die at that person's hands than to have had a gun and been able to defend yourself. My young ass sleeves. Anyway, so you know, I was like, okay, but you know what? Usually, and this is a black chick, okay, Thruthertalk. Usually, when I see a black person who is a proponent of the Second Amendment, right, and are always talking, and they talk about it in their videos, I make sure what they're really about, because 9 times out of 10, those type of black people are gonna be shitting on black people who know that racism still exists, and that systematic racism is very much alive. You know what I'm saying? So I go and browse her channel, and that's what I see. I see titles like "I'm addicted to blackness" and little silly shit like that. Really disrespectful, really disrespectful titles. You know, but you can't say nothing to her about that, right? Because she's black. So if she wants to put titles like "I'm addicted to blackness" and "Black Dynamite" and whatever the hell she be saying, you know, so it's just like with the Amazing Lucas, right? When you hear him talk, you know that dude is a suburbanite. Same thing with her. So 9 times out of 10, when you have these type of people, these type of black folks that think like them, that think that uh, black folks need to get off their ass, and that's all they need to do is get up and do something. You know what I'm saying? Do something with your life. Get up and get off your ass. Oh yeah, get off of your ass, and then you're going to make different for yourself. Yeah, all you got to do is get up in the morning and stop smoking weed and drink your cereal, and then automatically things are going to happen for you. No, nigga. I had to watch her video, Still Addicted to Blackness. Okay, so she sounds like a suburbanite. She sounds like she grew up probably around a bunch of white folks, and because she was yay high since they known her, they accepted her, and it is what it is. I mean, she's a token black chick, even though she talks shit about token black people. She's the one that it is what it is. So you can just tell in her voice, like she has no connection to her people at all, like none. She does not understand a goddamn thing. So I'm listening to her Still Addicted to Blackness video, and it's like, what are you talking about? Like she'll say dumb shit like, oh, you always want to blame the white man. The white man's holding me down. Well, just you have to empower yourself. You got to empower yourself. And then she started talking about these inventors. The heart inventor, the inventor of the heart transplantation. He invented heart surgery, and then guess what? He pushed through and then when he went to the hospital, he had problems. Okay, but even though he experienced that racism, he pushed through. Listen to what you just said, you dummy. You just said the inventor of heart surgery, okay, a black dude, was dying and probably could have been saved if he was accepted into the hospital by these white folks, okay? And they knew who he was, right? They refused treatment because he was black. Then he died. Do you see that? Do you see the dumb shit that you just said? He invented heart surgery, okay? That has now saved millions of lives since his passing. Since he invented heart surgery, millions of lives have been saved. Then he went to the hospital himself, and they refused treatment for him because he was black. And you're telling me he pushed through that? Oh, he pushed through and made it. No, nigga, he pushed through and died. He could have survived if they allowed him to be treated. Where they find you niggas at, man? I swear to God. I mean, listen. Anybody that comes on here and they know who Thruthertalk and Amazing Lucas is, once again, I'm going to reiterate, they do not speak for black people, okay? Now, I'm going to explain something to you, Thruthertalk. I don't even know what your real name is. I'm going to explain something to you, okay? Yeah, it's easy to say, empower yourself, right? But you know what's easier to see? It's easier to see and go through historical data, and even now, and see what happens when we try to empower ourselves. Okay? There are way more obstacles for black folks to empower themselves. On the path of empowering ourselves, there are way more obstacles than there are for white folks. This has been acknowledged. This is total and complete fact. There have been studies done that show that like 70, I don't know the exact number, but a large percentage of white folks are afraid of us. They don't like us. You know what I'm saying? They don't want our kids to go to school together. They think we're dirty. To this day, have you done your research? Or are you just spouting off bullshit to appease your white audience? Okay? I'm going to explain something else to you. I'm gonna give you a brief timeline of our history here in America. Okay, I'm gonna start with slavery. There were slaves. Okay, we were slaves for 200 years, and then once we were freed, right? And we were only freed because it was a business decision. It was a good business decision to sit up there and allow us to be free, and then lose business with the cotton, okay? Because we were revolting, and that was bad for business. Okay, so we had slavery, and then, okay, we had sharecropping, which was just another form of slavery. We wasn't making shit. We didn't know how to read, okay, most of us. We didn't know anything about politics. We didn't know anything about the economy. We were thrown out there to the wolves. What's up, the wise one? We were thrown out there to the wolves for, you know what I'm saying, for a long ass time, okay? So what you did was you freed a bunch of people that did not know how to live in this society as a free folk. There was no transitional period. There was no retraining. None of that. You just threw us back in the fields, gave us a couple pennies, and said, here you go, you're free, nigga. We did not get our 40 acres and a mule like we were supposed to, okay? So then you had that. Then you had the lynching, all right? You had you had it to where we could not go to certain restaurants. We couldn't use certain water fountains. We couldn't use certain bathrooms. Yeah, this is a while ago, right? I'm getting somewhere. Then you had the Mann Act, which basically enacted to lock black folks up for a long ass time for any goddamn reason, okay? You know, you had Jim Crow laws that lasted about 100 years or so, okay? Then you had the heroin being brought into our neighborhoods, okay, in the early 19th century or early 20th century. You feel me? We had that. So we didn't know what heroin was. You know, we were living in poverty. You know, we had to find a way to cope. They brought drugs to us, okay? Made it sound like it was candy. And then we got hooked on it, you know what I'm saying? Then Jim Crow ended as around the same time as the Civil Rights Movement, where we were still being treated like double dog shit. We were dying, our leaders were dying, you know what I'm saying? And they did not want us to succeed. The system did not want black folks to succeed and have their own society. Oh, and did I forget about Tulsa, Oklahoma, where they bombed and destroyed the entire black community because they were thriving? They found a way to thrive on their own without the system. Then you had integration. That was probably one of the worst things that happened to us. That's why we're in the position we're in now. But see, the integration was only half-assed, because in some neighborhoods or in some cities, in some states, we're naturally segregated. But what you did was you sprinkled, the system sprinkled people in our communities due to integration that would lead the minds of our youth astray. Okay? Then you have COINTELPRO. You see, let me tell you something about the last time we tried to empower ourselves. Nitwit. It was called the Black Panthers. Okay? The Black Panthers was a black empowerment movement like no other, like never seen before. Okay, and all we wanted to do as Black Panthers was protect our neighborhood from racist white cops that were killing us for no fucking reason, that was harassing us. We had the right to keep and bear arms here in California. In Oakland, they was doing that big time, and in LA. Okay? What did you have? You had COINTELPRO come in because we were patrolling our own neighborhoods with our own weapons so that we can keep the racist pigs from harassing us and so that we can keep the drugs from being sold in our neighborhoods. And we were very successful. That's empowerment, right? That's the type of empowerment you're talking about? We were educating ourselves. They were doing a lot of outreach programs for the youth. Okay? You had a lot of great things happening with the Black Panthers. They wasn't just running around talking about fuck the pigs, right? Okay, so we had that going on. You know, first, like I said, the first time we tried to empower ourselves after slavery was Tulsa, Oklahoma, Black Wall Street. That was destroyed. Okay? Black Panthers destroyed systematically from within. Infiltration, agent provocateurs, and upswing and harassment from the police, even though we were keeping them from. See, what the Black Panthers did, they took the target off the normal folks' back that lived in the neighborhood and put it on their own back. Power, okay? Then what you had was the creation of the US organization by snitch Molly Karenga, who was backed by the U.S. government, who hated black folks, not because of their color, but because of the power that we held, the strength that we have. When we want to do some shit, get some shit done, it get done and get done right, nigga. That's why. That's where the racism comes from. That's where the systematic racism comes from. Because if we build our own shit, right, thrive in our own economy, and had cooperative economics, oh man, we'd be killing it. We'd be killing it. And then our money wouldn't be circulating into the system as a whole as much because we spend the most money. All right, let's get back to the Black Panthers. The Black Panthers were systematically destroyed from within. The leaders were getting murdered. Okay, they ran up in Fred Hampton's pad in Chicago while he was asleep and blew his head off. Him and his partner, because a snitch that they encouraged allowed them to get in there. Are you listening, you dumb motherfucker? Dumb, just like the Amazing Lucas, you dumb. Okay, and Negroes like you piss me off. It just does. Because of the people that you reach. Okay, people like you embolden racists to be racist. You do. Like you confirm every hateful thought they have about us by spouting that bullshit that you talk about. Okay? Now, Black Panthers were how long ago? About 40 some years ago, right? Okay, 40 years ago. About 40 years ago. But let me tell you about something else. Let me tell you about something else. The system is so racist that they banned open carry in California because they didn't want Negroes walking around with guns. Even though we weren't harming nobody, even though we were protecting our own people, you can't have that. We want to come in there and round up some niggers and beat on some niggers. We should be able to do that. Okay? We should, right? Well, there you go. That's what happened. The system was so racist that the NRA backed this bill with Ronald Reagan to ban open carry. So that was yet another roadblock on the road to empowerment, you fuck nut. Because this is what happened, okay? The Black Panthers were doing some good. They were gaining some ground, and they were essentially getting rid of drugs from their neighborhood. But because of the manipulation and the fuck shit from the U.S. government and COINTELPRO, what ended up happening was gangs were created from this. from dismantling of the Black Panthers. Now you had heroin being proliferated within our neighborhoods once again, and then gangs got together. Kind of started out like the Black Panthers did. They picked it up where the Black Panthers left off, so they could protect the neighborhoods. But because now the shit they were carrying was illegal, they had illegal shit going on. You know what I'm saying? They started selling drugs and all the other shit by the encouragement of the U.S. government. That's the point blank period. Now look what happened in the 80s, you fucking twat. You know what happened in the 80s? They brought crack in. That shit, yeah, that's a well-known fact. It's public knowledge now. They making movies and TV shows about it. You seen them? Now I will say, were many of our people instrumental in some of our plight? Absolutely, absolutely. But because of human condition and because of the conditioning that we went through, because we didn't want to suffer as much as the rest of our people, like back in the slavery days when you had house niggas snitching on the slave field niggas and shit like that. That's what you call divide and conquer, okay? And you are actually a product of divide and conquer. You are one of those people. You a house nigga, plain and simple. You know what I'm saying? Y'all's a house nigga. You and the Amazing Lucas, you the Thruthertalk, and the Amazing Lucas, they some house niggas. That's the only way I can see it as. Okay? Because you grew up in the suburbs around some white folks, and they accepted you because it was just a couple of y'all. It was your family. I don't know what you got going on. You light skinned. You might have a white daddy or something like that. I don't know what you got going on. So you grew up in a suburban neighborhood. You probably went to an Ivy League college or some shit, and you think you made it, right? You think you made it. But I'm gonna explain something to you. I'm gonna explain to you why you dumb. Because this is what dumb people do. Instead of coming up with solutions, all you do is talk about the problem, and you weigh off what the problem is. You think black folks is the problem. You think black folks as a whole, you think we're holding ourselves back? Except every time we try to come up, every time we try to improve our situation, they do something to bring it back down. They do something to knock us back down a few pegs. You know? Like, I don't... And then, you know, I'm going to give you a story. I used to drive a tow truck in the city of Torrance, California. Okay? For the impound. Now, I noticed that every time they impounded a vehicle, it was a person of color. I never saw them impound a white person's vehicle. Okay? And then, so one time, they're impounding somebody. Hold on. I'll be right back. Yo. I know someone who works for a towing company right now. He stole so much shit. I ain't gonna say nothing about that. I ain't gonna say nothing about that, brother. But it's been known to happen. Now look. So I'm driving tow trucks for the City of Torrance Police Department, right? So they can impound people's shit. Well, I did a pickup one time. It was a nice little luxury truck. Probably, I think it was in an alley or something. But a black dude was driving it. And so for the first time, you know, I was curious. I was like, asked one of them pigs. I said, "Hey man, why you pulled him over?" He said, "Oh, because he's black driving a luxury vehicle." And I was like, "Wow, facts." That's what he said. He said, "Because he's black and he's driving a Denali in Torrance." You see what I'm saying? And then another time, this was all over the news, okay? In Torrance. And I had to get the fuck out of Torrance. I was like, I wasn't about to have them thinking I was one of them token Negroes like y'all idiots. You know what I'm saying? But I had to pick up another car. But this time it was because some black folks had been accused by some white folks in the neighborhood that they were robbing somebody or stealing some shit, right? Turned out they wasn't. Turned out in the end they wasn't. But let's get to the story. Let's get to the meat of this shit. You fucking idiot. This was this century, by the way. This century, not too long ago. Okay, Thruthertalk, or more like delusional talk. So they chased these two black people all over the city, and they end up getting out of their vehicles, right? These black folks, and what happened is they found somebody's house and they hid in a storage or a tool shed in somebody's driveway or something like that, right? So they were trying to hide in this tool shed. The cops found out they were in there. You know what they did? Oh, they just sealed their fate, because they shot into that tool shed dozens of times while the doors were closed, while them niggas were still in there. Just shot at the shit. Okay? Shot at the shit. Now, what they tried to say was that these two black people came out of the tool shed with a pitchfork and a rake, and attacked the police, so they shot them. But it was found out that the doors were still closed and these niggas was inside the shed when the cops shot them. I had to pick their car up. Now, you tell me what the fuck that is. What you call that? Huh? Why is it that when we can't even go to our own house, right? We can't even go into our own house with white neighbors in the middle of the night. We can't come home from the club in the middle of the night when we have white neighbors and not get the police called on us because we're breaking into our own house. White folks are using the police to fuck with us. If they don't want us somewhere or they don't like us, they'll call the police and say, "Oh, these Negroes are disturbing us." They use cops as weapons because they know that we're black and cops will fuck with us because we're black. When you have shit like this occurring, when you have people, oh yeah, you know what? What about those brilliant black folks in Texas that got blew up by mail bombs? What about that? What you call that? Huh? Deliberately targeting black folks of that would be somebody like you, maybe. I don't know what y'all do for a living. I don't know how brilliant you are. I think you're really dumb, actually. But black folks that had something going for themselves, that were smart, that went to college, you know what I'm saying? They were doing great things. This white boy didn't like that. So what he did was melt them some bombs and blew their ass up. What you call that? What you call that? And what do you get when a bunch of bikers, a bunch of white bikers are fighting and killing each other in Texas, and the cops show up and give them hugs and say, "What's up, buddy?" Whereas my ass can't even have a concealed carry license in Texas without getting shot twice in the chest. And I tell the cop, "Look, man, I just want you to know I have a concealed carry license in case you want to search my car and find a gun. I do have a concealed carry license permit." "Oh, okay, well, I'm gonna kill your ass." What you call that? Huh? From the motherfucking pig. Shot him in the chest because he was black. Point blank in the motherfucking period. What about Sandra Bland? Huh? What about that? You want me to keep going? What about syphilis? Huh? That they were testing on black people. Yeah, that happened a while ago, but they still doing shit like that. What about all the sterilization projects what about all the sterilization agents they found in the vaccines over in Africa? What you call that? You don't think that's connected to us here in America? Because they did that to us too. They let us suffer with syphilis just to see the effects of it. What you call that? Now, I will agree that I will say that while the elite wants to see the population reduced by 90%, I will say that the one group of people that could get in the way of that, if we are allowed to empower ourselves, are black folks or people of color, melanated folks, because there's such greatness within us, and they know this. Now, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you obviously think that we got it made. We just got to get off our ass, right? Is it that simple? No, it's not. I mean, but you keep thinking what you're thinking. I'm just letting you know, and I'm letting you if any of your followers come to my channel because they see your name or whatever, they don't speak for us. So don't let them embolden you to getting your ass knocked out in the streets. I'm just saying, because more and more when racist white folks approach us and are disrespectful, more and more we're knocking y'all out, and we fighting back. We fight back nowadays. Just so you know, that's the empowerment that we do possess and that we are able to exercise. And sometimes we get away with it. Because it's on video, and you guys probably assaulted us first. What about in the subway or in the BART station? I forgot about that in Oakland. A young, beautiful black sister, 18 years old, who was getting ready to do big things, who was empowering herself, got her throat slit by a white boy for no fucking reason. What about in New York? $70, 60-year-old man stabbed in the stomach a bunch of times with a sword by a white boy. So you want to use you want to talk about how LeBron James is crying because somebody wrote nigger on his garage, right? You don't understand what that means? You don't understand what that means when they hang black folks in the South and in the Midwest? What about that? You don't think that nigger on the garage door is like a warning? Like, look, this is just, we letting y'all know we still out here and we don't want y'all to win. See, it's more than just the word nigger on a garage. It's much more than that. See, let me tell you who you're dealing with right here with me. I'm sharp. I can see shit. I can see through the bullshit. I can see shit from different angles. I know how to put shit together. I know how to look deeper. I know how to discern and infer. I know how to break shit down, and I come up with solutions. While all you're doing is shitting on people, shitting on your own people, because they acknowledge that racism exists. And some of us are downtrodden, and some of us are ignorant, and some of us are detrimental to our own people. They can be weeded out, just like you. We don't want you. Stay your ass over there. You're fucking sycophant. That's what you are. You're a sycophantic house nigga. We don't want you either. So if you think that we're holding our own selves down and the white man ain't keeping us down, stay over there with that white man. See how they treat you. Go ahead, stay over there with that white man. We don't want you. We don't want you. So you can say all you want about us, but those of us that have a mind and know what the threats are, and know all the threats, and know we just know. We're gonna do our thing, okay? And in the end, we're gonna win. Plain and simple. One of these guys, the Amazing Lucas, I knew what I was dealing with when he said this, that he loves to eat McDonald's. That cinches it for me. That's how I know he ain't credible. The motherfucker eats McDonald's. You don't get it? Look deeper into it, okay? He eats McDonald's. He said that. So I'm done with that dude. That dude is a sucker, okay? I know what I'm dealing with now. Not shit. Go ahead, eat your McDonald's, buddy. Oh, man, he eats McDonald's. I'm going to tell you this chick, man. The Thruthertalk chick. Hair was just... Listen, man. I love nappy hair. But you need to get a lineup. You need to get a better lineup. I don't know what's going on with your head, your forehead, but get that straightened out, okay? Oh, and then about the video I did last night, okay, on the way home, the live I did last night. One idiot asked a question. If a 9-year-old was smart enough not to go back to Africa Bambaataa, why did a 13-year-old, first of all, he wasn't 13, he was 12 years old, he started at 12. Why did a 12-year-old or 13-year-old keep going back to Africa Bambaataa after being molested? No, motherfucker, the question is, why was Africa Bambaataa allegedly molesting children in the first place? That's the question y'all should be asking, right? Because not everyone responds the same way to trauma, right? Do we know that? Or are we still stupid? Are we still stupid? I think we're still stupid, right? We want people to react the same way for everything. Question is, why do child molesters do what they do, and why are they allowed to get away with it? Why are they allowed to do what they do? That's the question. Not why the child does this and that. No, motherfucker. Why did the child molester do what he did? That's the question we should be asking. We're asking the wrong fucking questions of the wrong people. I'm tired of you idiots. I'm tired of it. You fucking us up. Go on somewhere. Sit down. Go sit down. Listen, y'all dumb. I'm tired of y'all idiots. I'm tired of you fucking nitwits, you clowns, you protectors of child molesters. I'm tired. I'm gonna keep shitting on you. If I keep seeing your dumb shit, the more dumb shit you say, the more I'm gonna have to react to it. Anyway, because there needs to be a balance of idiocy and intelligence, because obviously, the idiots are outweighing the intelligent folks that speak out. So I call all my intelligent, discerning people. I'll call you guys out. Please help. Okay? We're outnumbered. Okay? And outdumbed. So we need help. We need to start speaking out. We need to find these idiots. We need to call them on their shit. Shut them down. Okay? All right, man. I gotta get out of here.